Hello, and welcome to ohmTown Daily, the new show powered by ohmTown.com. Today is March 23rd, 2024, season... Whoa, hold on a second. We're doing it live, folks. Season 3, episode 83. Today we're going to be talking about a mile of flammable tape, prohibition of cash payments, copyright violations, increased oversight, SAG-AFTRA ratifies a contract, Alaska lake balloon, trained on Financial Times, mansion built, never used, choice words, and Realtime Webb. I'm Mayor Watt. Up there is the visualizer for the sentient AI, and I've got a little window open that nobody should be seeing. 1 second. Go ahead. You want to say hi?
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to ohmTown Daily.
The sentient AI. Wait, what?
There seems to be some visual effects lacking.
Oh. 1 second. Hi, everybody. We're doing this very
I feel like
live.
I'm not even here.
Oh. Let's do this. Yeah, production value at an all-time high. Sorry.
Hooray!
Today's feeling I'm feeling a little rushed. We're going to be doing several shows today. So, ohmTown Daily News Show, Reality Hacker, Wanted, and our newest show, Warcrafters. Well, newest show for Saturday is Warcrafters. Tomorrow we've got another show. Be sure to follow us. We talk about automotive technology. Yeah, we're doing quite a bit. We're just slowly adding to the small armada of shows. So if you're interested in being a host or a co-host, get in touch with the mayor at ohmtown.com. That said, let's get into today's articles. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Does sound good. So the very first article for today is over in the Mobile Channel. Boeing Starliner set for first astronaut flights after engineers remove a mile of flammable tape. Is that kind of like peeling back all of the new protective stickers on all of the gadgets that you get?
Yeah, maybe it's like taping down the bolts or something.
Oh no, I didn't.
Too soon?
This should never. It's not even a too soon. It should never even be said. Oh my gosh, I didn't connect those. Anyway, Starliner spacecraft is finally ready for launch, targeting a liftoff date in May. It's been a struggle to get this point for Boeing's crew vehicle, which suffered from a series of unfortunate delays over the years, the last of which had to do with two major safety hazards discovered on the spacecraft. It might actually be missing bolts. Oh, before
Hopefully
I go over
not.
there, let me throw our first article into the chat. There you go. So the article's over at Gizmodo. Pasantarabi is the author of this. The deck statement says Boeing also fixed a nagging parachute issue and is now aiming for a May launch with astronauts aboard. A nagging parachute issue. What the frick?
You know, if there's a parachute involved, it should be nagging. Like it should be hanging around.
Yeah. That darn parachute just always is just sitting there doing nothing. Really being a drag. So it's been a struggle, huh? Boeing CST-100 Starliner is set to carry NASA's astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore to the International Space Station no earlier than the first day of May. No earlier. All right. During a press briefing on Friday, representatives from the company reaffirmed their confidence in Starliner's parachutes and protective tape. All right. supposed to launch it last year in July 21st, 2023. A few weeks before liftoff, however, the company announced that it was standing down from the launch attempt to address newfound issues with the crew vehicle. I guess had to do with the load capacity of Starliner's 3 parachutes, which are designed to safely land the crew vehicle. The failure load limit of the fabric sections on the parachutes was found to be lower than expected. I guess there's more. Let's see here. Upcoming flight marks Boeing's first crewed trip to the IRS. Too soon. The ISS. It's also the first Starliner launch since an uncrewed test flight of the vehicle suffered an anomaly in May 2022 when a thruster used for orbiting maneuver unexpectedly failed. Yikes.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's concerning enough with the airplanes, but spacecraft is a whole nother set of issues.
Yeah, you know, the thing about this is that SpaceX has been going up and down with the, pretty regularity there. And this is another solution. I don't know about, I haven't looked into their track record. It's weird. I don't know what to say about this. It says NASA has been mainly relying on SpaceX. It's exactly right when I started talking about SpaceX. The article shifts over there. Before the company developed its Dragon crew vehicle, however, the space agency had its astronauts primarily riding on Russia's Soyuz cruise ship. Yeah, this is interesting. All right. What do they say here? We've removed nearly a mile of tape from the vehicle and mitigated about 85 to 90% of the areas that the tape is installed on the vehicle. 85 to 90%? The vehicle.
What about the other parts?
Second concern involved hundreds of feet of protective tape used to cover the wiring harnesses inside the Starliner vehicle, which was discovered to be flammable. So what about the rest? 10 to 15% is still covered in this tape, for crying out loud. Oh, we couldn't get to it. Well, I guess you'll know exactly where the wires are severed when the fire breaks out. Good God. How do you find that out later? Hey, let's use something that we don't test for flammability. Watch this like flash paper.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like kind of a key characterization of something that needs to go into space and is going to be around a lot of jet fuel.
Yeah, and heat in general. So if it hits its flash point. So how do you think this goes by? Somebody says, hey, let's just use this tape. And nobody says, hey, let's check to see if it's going to be an inferno. That's silly.
I do not know.
Let's keep going. Next article's over in the Mobile channel. Visitors sue National Park Service over policy prohibiting cash payments. Frankly, I don't like cash, mainly because it's just another thing to have to babysit, and I like to do everything electronic. There's certain things you have to pay cash still. It's weird in this day and age that you would have to use it, but it says 3 visitors sue the National Park Service over the policy of prohibiting cash payments at various locations around the country. Elizabeth Dasberg from Georgia, Esther Vanderwerf of California, and Toby Stover of New York filed a lawsuit in early March alleging the Park Service's cashless policy is violating federal law. I'm curious. Oh, no. The trio said that they were not able to use cash when visiting monuments, national parks, and other locations in the U.S. since U.S. currency is legal tender for all public charges. I don't think that's what it means. It means that the money is legal tender for those who might accept it, but it isn't required. I don't have to accept pennies. No, it's not how that works. Pennies are legal tender, but no. Let me throw this into the chat. There you go, folks. The article's over at The Hill. Philip Timotiha is the author. And let's see here. NPS's violation cannot be overlooked. The suit charges. You know, the tone that something represents. Come on. Violation cannot be overlooked. It's like they didn't invade the Capitol, for crying out loud. They didn't want to accept your dollars. The suit argues, although the plaintiffs are not asking the court to prohibit NPS from accepting credit cards, debit cards, or digital payments, such as Apple Pay, should visitors to NPS sites prefer to use them. The plaintiffs' cash payments were rejected in Georgia, Arizona, and New York. Apparently barred entry at 3 different locations in Arizona run by the federal agency. I think they were looking for that fight, not really. You know
I agree, because they're from different states. It looks like they are at different sites that they can't get into with cash.
Yeah, there's something
like,
that connects the dots.
How did this get pulled together? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's the outrage on some subreddit, I'm sure. Oh my God. Oh, maybe they meant it. No, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, the cashless policy. You know,
I think I know where that was going. Yeah.
Some people can extrapolate from partial data. So the cashless policy has been in effect since 2019 for park passes in Arizona. Similar adjustments were set to come this year to Montana, Colorado, California. NPS has argued the shift is lessening wait times and making it easier to count the amount charged for each visitor. Correct. It's faster. It's frictionless. You don't have to worry about it getting robbed later, for crying out loud. You don't have to worry about traveling with cash a long distance to have to deal with the funds there at a bank, locating a bank locally around a national park. You want to streamline stuff and make operating costs lower? You take advantage of technology like, I don't know, cash cards, credit cards. For crying out loud. So goofy. No, let's make it so that an armored vehicle has to travel from some location all the way around the country to various national parks because you want to pay with a $20 bill instead of with the ATM card you have your ass walking around with all day long. That's probably why somebody put a dislike on one of the videos, because I kind of jump up on the soapbox.
Because
sometimes.
of the soapbox?
Yeah. Look, folks, it's a news show, but I'm still giving you my perspective, and the AI will do the same whenever they feel, I don't know, empowered to.
When there's room on the soapbox.
Oh. Wow.
You know, I mean, there are some people that are really not excited about moving away from cash payments, but we can all see we're going in that direction.
Yeah.
My big concern with it is that there are people that do not have access to credit, etc., and that's where I have a problem with this. But from a convenience, a health standpoint, etc., I'm all in favor of no cash.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that has always been the problem, and I've gotten into these discussions about people that become marginalized because they don't have the ability to have a bank account or a credit card or something like that, and they're bound by cash. And so I know that there are solutions out there, but they need to be empowered to go and get those solutions and convert their cash into something that is digital in nature. And the people who pay somebody in cash should be able to, with less friction and lower cost, facilitate this transition, because becoming aware of how all of this works facilitates somebody's professional and societal growth. But again, some people don't want to. They eschew technology, and no, I can't say that kind of stuff. There's certain things that my filter is strong today. Anyway, yeah, no, but I get it. You know, there are people out there that just, some people can't get into the tech side of it because they don't have the ability to, and there are people that don't want to. and the people that don't want to are like this. Just all right. You can't tell me that you don't have a cash card.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that would be the alternative.
Right.
But let's say you're a worker that gets paid in cash.
Right.
Maybe you have any number of barriers toward even knowing that you could get a cash card.
Sure. And where do you put that money if you get paid in cash? I really doubt that you're running around all of the national historic sites around the country.
Well, that is the other thing here. I agree.
You're going to have different priorities.
If you're living on cash, you're probably not touring a lot of the national parks, etc. I may be wrong, but
I'd like to see the stats on that. I know that the person that was sitting on the median that I gave lunch to and $20 to, our discussion naturally progressed into, hey, I'm going to go check out the New York Roosevelt Vanderbilt National Historic Site right after I eat this lunch. Thank you very much.
I sense a little bit of sarcasm.
The next article is over in Technology Today. Generative AI could leave users holding the bag for copyright violations. This is something that has popped up from time to time. Nothing that's generated by AI can be copyrighted, but it can lead to violations if there is something, I don't know, curiously parallel to something that is copyrighted. Generative artificial intelligence. Which is, okay, anyway, has been hailed for its potential to transform creativity, especially by lowering the barriers to content creation. And it's kind of my champion call there. While the creative potential of generative AI tools has been highlighted, the popularity of the tools poses questions about intellectual property and copyright protection, which is intellectual property. So, all right. Maybe there was a... 1 second, I'm sorry. Dunk, dunk. So maybe there was a word limit they had to reach. Anjana Susaria. Right?
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over at The Conversation, this is a separate website from techexplore.com where this article was actually posted, but you can go to theconversation.com where this article will be posted as well. Our link, pardon me, which is not in chat just yet. Right? Oh, no, it is. There it is. Sorry. Well, anyway, we've had this conversation about copyright protection, copyright violation, and because AI tools are apparently ingesting various publicly accessible and maybe even protected data sets, maybe the data that it generates is also going to be eerily similar to something else. Generative AI uses very powerful machine learning methods such as deep learning and transfer learning on such vast repositories of data to understand the relationships among those pieces of data. For instance, which words tend to follow other words. This allows generative AI to perform a broad range of tasks that can mimic cognition and reasoning. They're very playing down the fact that it's possibly not just mimicking cognition and reasoning.
Well, right. Mimicking maybe the mimicking the content.
Yeah, but mimicking, what it is, it's not mimicking, it's synthetic.
I know.
It's generative. There's those words are powerful enough that somebody is going to take exception to this. It's not mimicking, it's synthetically generating cognition and reasoning. But mimic means...
It looks like it, right? It's not actually it.
Yeah. Mimic would be like akin to aping. You know, if I go like this, then the other person goes like this. But that's not what AI does. So when prompts result in copyright violations, researchers and journalists have raised the possibility that through selective prompting strategies, people can end up creating text, images, and video that violate copyright. And yeah, sort of. If it's eerily identical, then yeah. But if it is divergent enough from whatever is generated, then it's a unique generation. Still, it can't get a copyright. So if anybody's using it and they're using it for profit, anybody else can take that work and run with it. Whoop, off it goes, and somebody's going to start using it. And then when somebody comes and sues, hey, you're using my artwork in the thing, really? You created this? Well, I used my AI. And anything otherwise would be fraud. If you say, no, you didn't use AI, if I ask you that question and you lie, it's fraud. Because if anyone ever does find out, and it may actually happen now or later or whenever, but you're going to slip up because people are chatty. And lying to a court is it becomes
It's not advisable.
Yeah. So builders of generative AI tools have argued that the prompts do not reproduce the training data, which should protect them from claims of copyright violations. Some audits have shown, though, that end of users generative AI can issue prompts that result in copyright violations by producing works that closely resemble copyrighted protected content. Closely resemble copyrighted. Yeah.
Notice are not the same.
Are not the same, correct. And that really is the nuts and bolts of this. And anybody can take anybody to court. That's just how it works. How it stands.
Well, right. You don't have to have anything to it, right, to get in the door.
Right. And the person that is marked as defense is going to sit there and have to substantiate in a vacuum, basically, that no, they didn't violate anything because they are not the ones that are privy to the fact that something was in violation of a copyright. And what I have doesn't match what I was threatened with a lawsuit is going to be protecting it. So no, all of this, I really don't. Again, it goes back to prompts that result in copyright violations. That is going to have to take a deeper dive for me to argue. But I doubt that any of it survives a lawsuit. Where did that go? Anyway. So researchers in computer vision have long grappled with the issue of how to detect copyright infringement, such as logos that are counterfeited or images that are protected by patents. Images that are protected by patents? What?
I'm not sure what that means. Like, do they mean... Because that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of these that I'm going to have to jump into post the show. But anyway, so yeah, there's a role for regulation. It's going to be case by case regardless, and you can run AI and depending on the threshold that you tell AI, hey, go out and find counterfeit based on my source material. If you're down in the 50 percentile or even 60 percentile or even 80 percentile, you're gonna fail unless you just throw a mountain of money at the litigation, and then it's a strategic lawsuit. And eventually you're going to be seen as a copyright or patent troll. And in this case, it's only copyright. Patents have nothing to do with this. So I don't know. I see that there's the possibility of a problem. I also see that if it is a sloppy AI and it's just spitting out stuff that if it's regurgitating what it has already ingested, then it's the AI that's really problematic and nobody's going to use that. The liability is just too high. But rest assured, right now in the US in particular, nobody can get a copyright on an AI generated piece of artwork. Not unless the core material has been modified so much that you can say that it's substantially different from the AI generated work. So basically you have to be an artist to what do you think?
I feel like the public doesn't have enough access to what's actually going on with it. And so it's just, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We've talked about this with other articles.
Yeah.
But I also think that the laws have not caught up at all for this, and they need to do that sooner rather than later, because everybody's kind of I feel like everybody's floundering around, not knowing where this is going. And if all this stuff is put out there, but this isn't ironed out now, it's going to be a mess to try to unwind it down the road.
There's a phrase that I want to say, and I can't say it.
Oh, I think I know what that is.
Yeah, I'll just say it's theoretic in the grand scheme of things. In the real world, it's easy to unscrew a light bulb, but this is a different type of light bulb. It's ethereal, it's ephemeral. You try to grasp at what a copyright is, wherein an AI has generated some work, and the person who's generating it says, no, I created that. Okay. How did you create it? Oh, well, I painted this, painted that. I don't have steps for it because that's my original work right there. Yeah. At some point, it's going to get messier and messier. And this hard line that AI generated work can't be copyrighted, I think, is really wrong-headed. Only because I've said it before. A camera is a tool. AI is a tool. A macaque pushed a button, and it was a photographer level, high quality work of a portrait. I mean, it was a beautifully lit piece of photography, and it was a macaque that pointed the lens at its own face and took a picture. And the owner of the camera tried to claim copyright on it.
Which is just, well,
but it goes to show you.
Let me just say that.
The work, it was created by the tool. All it takes is dumb luck. Nature photography, for instance, you can sit there and you have to spend hours retaking, hoping that you don't have to compromise what your end result is, because at some point after 1,000 or 10,000 photos, you still don't get that bird diving into the water just right. So you go, okay, that's good enough. Well, AI generated works are identical to that, except that I can actually manipulate that because it's artwork. It isn't acclaimed natural photography taken in the field. If I say, oh, I took this nature photography and then manipulated it without disclosing that I changed things, you're a fraud. At least I'm willing to say, if my AI work can be given a copyright, it's AI generated work, but I manipulated it into what I wanted it to be. So I get a little bent out of shape with this, because I think generative AI can empower a lot of people who are creative, but only to a certain degree, because they haven't sat there and bent the knee to time and just sat there for 10,000 hours honing the skill that they may never actually attain, because I don't know, they've got a sick mother, or they've got to take care of their family. You know, people need to get shit done, and it isn't necessary. Not everybody has the same level of privilege where they can sit there, you know, and have all of the money, time, and tools.
That's true. Exactly. So, right. They're just trying to put food on the table, or a roof over somebody's head.
Yeah. And everybody else is just gatekeeping. Okay, let's keep going. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. FAA to increase oversight of United Airlines after recent issues. The Federal Aviation Administration is increasing its oversight of United Airlines in the wake of recent incidents, including a plane losing a tire during takeoff. It's a feature, not a bug. Let me just go straight on over to the Hill. Tara Suter is the author of this. And over the next several weeks, we'll begin to see more of the FAA presence in our operation as they begin to review some of our work processes, manuals, and facilities. We welcome their engagement. Please let there be a picture of this person red-faced. They actually said that, oh, there is no ha 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 at the end of this. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't it have been neat to see, like, well, I guess this wasn't a memo, but it would be interesting to see this in a press conference, because don't
Yeah.
you think they'd be like,
Yeah. We welcome their engagement and are very open to hear them from them about what they find and their perspective on things we may need to change to make us even safer. Even safer. I don't know. Have the brakes working, don't let the wheels fall off, bolt those damn panels in, etc., etc.
Don't use masking tape,
That sets itself on fire. The increase in FAA oversight of United also comes after months of scrutiny surrounding Boeing, the manufacturer of the jet that lost its tire earlier this month during a takeoff from San Francisco. I think they need to investigate San Francisco International Airport above all, because that was a striking list of issues.
Yeah, there was another article that we didn't feature that had kind of like a map, but it was all San Francisco basically.
Good
like,
God,
what was happening?
I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're all pretty chill there, those hippies from the 70s. I got nothing. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. SAG-AFTRA ratifies TV animation contracts that establish a AI protection for voice actors. That's right. Now you have to worry. Well, you've always had to worry about this happening. Actors, voice actors, even animators. I actually saw recently an AI that can take line work, like a line drawing, and then take something that's been colored and it's not the original, it's some other piece of work, whatever. That's some piece of work right there.
Right. I don't think that was the meaning you had.
Like, you just have line art drawing, like an artist just made a black and white, just line
Any
art.
piece of artwork, but not necessarily real detailed.
And then a picture from somewhere else that has a whole bunch of colors in it. And the AI will take the color schema from the other image, the color image, pull the colors in and ink the line art. It will fill it in like a professional inker. There's an artist their job is to color the cells of animation, or a painting or whatever, and like a comic, graphic novel, whatever. And so it's amazing what AI is capable of doing. So if you suck at ink, but you're great at drawing the line art, then you can use AI to augment your lack of skill. Now, somebody's going to go, get good at inking. Well, that's not how it works. Anyway, SAG-AFTRA has ratified new contracts for voice actors working in TV animation after members' votes came in at over 95% in favor of the terms. The 3-year agreements put into place new protections around the use of AI, including a requirement that producers obtain an actor's consent before using their name as a prompt to create an AI-generated voice. I agree. And what I mean by that is, I don't think that anybody should be able to take that voice actor's work, create an AI, and then say that it's that voice actor. And if something you generate as an AI becomes synonymous with that voice actor, I think that you should be liable for the fact that it has become confusingly similar to that artist.
Yeah, or you should be getting, of course,
Royalties.
the consent, and you should be paying them every time you're using it, and not just like a penny. If you'd be paying them whatever, $1,000, that's what they need to be paid.
Yeah, commensurate with the work that they would do in the terrestrial world. I see absolutely no problem with that. So, and here's the deal. The reason why anybody loves a particular voice actor is because somewhere around that voice actor, they've created a bond with the very people that go out of their way to buy games or watch documentaries or audiobooks or whatever with that voice actor. And a voice actor is a lot of times, also a normal non-voice actor, but an actor. And so all of that goodwill hovers around that person's name. And that's one of the key things here. Oh, I want to create an AI and I want it to sound like that person over there. Well, you're being a real shit. Why don't you license that person's voice, pay them a living wage, and you stop being a greedy bastard who's benefiting from the goodwill and skill of that particular voice actor. If you want to use some other voice, then fine, use some other voice. But if it's keyed in to sound like that voice actor and that voice actor told you to go fly a kite, then you need to change your tune and go find some other voice actor or find some other AI. But don't make it sound confusingly similar and then call it, Lake instead of Jake, or whatever the name of the voice actor is.
Exactly. Oh, in and out.
Oh, yeah. You have to go back, everybody. Just go back and do a search for In and Out. It's a burger chain it was in Mexico, right?
Mexico, yes.
Yeah.
That was not the original chain.
Yeah, it had the same design for its logo and the same pronunciation, except that it moved the N in and out. Oh God, some people, I tell you, it's just so whatever. So the articles, the little segment that we have over in ohmTown is from the Engadget website, engadget.com. So we don't screen scrape, we don't use AI. We only get this little tidbit, that right there, and that gives us some context for me. I'm Mayor Watt, and I use ohmTown and its many facets so that I can manage my information overload. It's really the only way that I can deal with so much information. And because I would normally use some other service, there was too much noise and too much friction. And so I created ohmTown.com to facilitate my information overload. And that led to this. So I don't screen scrape, like I said. And what ends up happening is we get this little snippet, and I follow the link when it piques my curiosity. And I hope you do the same thing. Go over, become a citizen of ohmTown. You'll be able to manage your information overload. All news, no noise. There might be conversation that takes place, but you won't even see it if you don't sign in. So go over, become a citizen. You can actually make custom lists, share them, follow the links, hide them, save them. I mean, to me, it's a great service now, but it's free. There's no money involved because I use it for myself. And it's operational for me. I made it operational for everybody. And I really want to bring my anti-spam mail service back. Man, that thing was beautiful. I just wish
That would be great.
People wouldn't pay for it. So anyway, and that's kind of what I do. I like to solve problems. And that's what I do when I'm not a mayor. Anyway, so over at Engadget, Cheyenne McDonald is the author of this, and they actually have themselves tagged as weekend editor. Contracts define voice actor as a term that only includes humans. Just tack on an AI in there, AI voice actor, and I'm sorry, you've basically neutered the whole thing.
It's not even a thing anymore. There's no actor involved at that point.
Yeah, so here's the situation with this, and it's going to become more and more apparent. Just like people just want good coffee, they want good voice acting. Right now, AI is meh about voice acting. It's an exercise in compromise, is what I always say now. I'm in meetings, I'm at a conference, I'm talking to groups of people, and I say AI is an exercise in compromise. If you think that it's good enough, then I guess it's good enough, but it isn't exactly what you want. But you'll never get that unless you're the one that does it exactly how you want it. So if you want a voice actor, you're going to have to work with a voice actor, and it's still an exercise in compromise. If you want artwork done, it may never be exactly what you want. It may exceed what you want because the voice actor or the artist is a someone that's so skilled that they can, overwhelm you with some great work. But it's always, it's typically an exercise in compromise. Life is. So it says, per the new contracts, the term voice actor only includes humans. Okay, so now people aren't going to sign contracts with these people. They're going to use AI. And it's going to take the people, the consumers of this stuff, to blow back and say, no, I don't want anything AI generated.
Yeah, I agree. But I think, I don't know, the fact that SAG-AFTRA is even getting into this area probably looks like a positive, but I actually think it's a negative. Because I feel like they're now condoning this, and we can all see where this is going down the road.
Yeah, what's going to end up happening is there's certain people that are going to benefit from this, but everything else, it's going to be outside the contract because they just want something that can say the words. They don't want necessarily, a voice actor. It says this is the first SAG-AFTRA animation voiceover contract with protection against the misuse of artificial intelligence. Unless they stipulate that anything that's going to hit the commercial airwaves has to have a human voice actor, then everybody's going to switch to artificial intelligence. Oh, and here's the kicker. Just wait until somebody starts creating AIs that have a persona, right? Like there's an AI generated, not animation, but video and voice and stills of a person on OnlyFans, for crying out loud. It's AI, and they're making like something like $15,000 a month or something, and it's AI. If you can't tell the difference, what does it matter, right? A lot of people are going to just want that cup of coffee. They don't care that it's made by Joe the barista who's been doing it for 15 years, and you can feel the love in the grounds. No, I just want a good cup of Joe and let me get to work. But there's some voice actors that people will die for. They will crawl across broken glass. I won't finish any of that. Yeah. So the contracts establish a wage increase starting at 7%, increase dated back to July 1st, 2023, which actors will receive retroactive payments for. That'll be followed by 4% increase July 1st of this year and a 3.5% increase the following year. So expect everything to go up. There's a game out right now called Dragon's Dogma 2, which I think is kind of, it's beautiful in many ways, but it's a $70 game. $70. Yeah.
That better have tons of playability.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, but I can't finish one game, let alone a $70 game. Anyway, let's keep hustling. We have 3 more shows to do. Yeah. Okay, it's so the next article's over in the Mobile Channel. Pentagon says balloon debris found in Alaska has been in the ocean for over a year. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is... when did the balloon get popped?
I will find out here.
Initial inspection of the balloon debris indicates the material has been in the ocean for well over a year. Sue Go, a spokesperson for the Department of Defense, said in an email to The Hill Saturday.
February 2023. But this is in Alaska. And it was shot down over South Carolina.
Well, no. There was one that was shot down over Alaska. What was the one that was shot down over Alaska? There was one that was shot down over Alaska. Some material has been transferred to the U.S. government facilities for further examination and analysis, and the FBI has previously confirmed the discovery of balloon debris, but didn't indicate a possible source.
You're right.
Um,
February. It's also February 2023.
yeah, that's what I thought, because it was a flurry. See what I did there? Alaska.
Yes, I did.
Tara Suter over at The Hill put this together. And so the Chinese spy balloon hovered over the U.S. for a week, but that's just a Chinese spy balloon. There were several. One over North Carolina that started on the West Coast and floated around all over the place, and then got blown out of the sky by a jet. And one was shot down over Alaska. I don't think the leadership knew where it was and knew what was in it and knew what was going on. Biden said to reporters, I think it was more embarrassing than it was intentional. So they say that they didn't know where it was. Yeah, they found it last month. So it was floating around in the water for a year because it was shot out of the sky.
Oh, okay. See, I thought this was something new that wasn't even known, and it like had crashed or something. So,
Unless it is, I mean, was there something that was seen? I mean, hold on a second. What the heck? Sorry, my firewall just went crazy.
oh no.
So the FBI is aware of debris found off the coast of Alaska by a commercial fishing vessel, and that was the one that was not last year, but last month. Yeah, maybe it was that balloon. I don't know. This just makes me wonder what everybody is. Why is this actually the phrase? It was in the ocean for over a year. Yeah, duh. It was
Right. It's like, well, we know it was there for a year.
weird. All right. Well, but I had to talk about it because that is a headline made for clicking. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Financial Times tests an AI chatbot trained on decades of its own material. I love this idea. Financial Times has a new generative AI chatbot called Ask FT that can answer questions its subscribers ask, similar to generalized AI bots like ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini, or Gemini if you're a NASA enthusiast. So the missions were Gemini, but everything else is Gemini.
So if in doubt, Gemini is the more widely used.
If in doubt, Gemini. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama, Gemini. Users can expect a curated natural language answer to whatever they want to know, but with the answers derived from the outlet's decades of published information rather than sources that are harder to explain or are subject to ongoing legal action. Haha. Come on. Really? So don't expect it to give you an answer for the best recipe for fettuccine alfredo, but you know what? Maybe I'll ask. So AI recipes, chatbot, Gemini, copyright. So The Verge links to an article over on their site. Apparently the recipe is plagiarized or at least copyrighted. Recipes can't be copyrighted though. The embodiment can be, the cookbook can be, but recipes can't be copyrighted. Right? I
don't believe they can. Right. It's just a set of instructions, right?
Right.
But a cookbook could be, right, with maybe
the illumination
or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Emma Roth, Quentin Kennemer wrote this article over at The Verge. And the deck statement says subscribers can use Ask FT to answer questions about recent events or broader topics covered by the Financial Times. And you know what? This is making me want to do that for ohmTown. I might have to do that. I might have to engage ChatGPT or OpenAI's API and tap into our historical record so that we can find information using the AI.
Now that'd be interesting, yeah.
Because, it's hard to find. It's hard to look back now after 3 years and find information that we've talked about previously. But
Exactly, because if it's a topic that has come up again, of course, there's more recent items in the search results.
yeah, it's the needle in the haystack. But maybe we can get a summary by asking ohmTown. That might be fun. I'll see what I can do. So it says, when we asked who runs Microsoft's AI products, the tool returned an up-to-date answer and referenced news that broke this week about Microsoft hiring DeepMind co-founder Mustafa Suleiman as the head of the new AI team. And then the bracketed numbers correspond to FT articles. Oh, it cites the articles. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Wow. Financial Times actually did something that nobody else is doing, apparently. It also provides the time period when the articles were written. In this case, Microsoft questioned it pulled information ranging from March 1st, 2023 to March 20th, 2024, although a year is a massive time frame for information ingestion. But it says that they found inconsistencies, however. So, of course, AI has to hallucinate, folks.
I mean, that's the only way we can appreciate it, right? That's something it's a feature, right? Not a bug.
Sure, yeah. Like getting hit by a car as you cross the street is just a part of the process. Ask FT will also answer questions that require deeper digging into the FT archives. When asked how YouTube started, it correctly responded that it was founded by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, Jawed Karem in February of 2005. Quote, we did a whole bunch of testing internally and use that to refine how we instruct the model and how we construct the code, Jane says. Again, quote, in this first group of 500, we are tracking every question and response as well as the user's feedback. So whoever it is that's going to get requested to visit HR tomorrow, it's because every question was tracked.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Joe, why are you asking questions like that of AI? I need to look at this. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily as well. A $20 million mansion home was built on top of a 400-foot skyscraper, and apparently the tycoon owner may never get to live in it. I don't know if that's a threat or just an observation.
Is that a win or a loss?
Yeah, it's like they're saying, "Hey, buddy, you may never live in that," you know?
Right. So, I mean, that sounds kind of threatening.
A $20 million mansion sits atop a 33-story luxury apartment complex in India. Wow. That's just so, I don't know.
That is just incredible.
The spectacular home was designed for a business person, Vijay Mallya, who fled India to the UK, faces charges of alleged financial crimes. No shit. He may never live in the mansion. Oh, so it kind of is a threat. Come back. We'll let you live. Right. We'll let you live in that mansion. Come on back to India. Tycoons and business moguls are known for their extravagant and often eccentric housing choices. Kind of like my word there. It was a choice. Bold move, Cotton. But one controversial business tycoon has taken luxury mansions to new heights. 400 feet to be precise. Oh, Business Insider, you're cute. Cameron Manley. Y'all don't get to see what the AI does. Kind of went.
I was trying to represent that with my ones and zeros.
Exactly. Cameron Manley over at Business Insider put the article together. Okay, y'all have to look at this thing. Hold on. Let me get this all lined up right so you can see it. Boom. This thing is huge. It has.
I had not seen this before the show. This is.
It has really... what? 10?
I don't know what to say about it.
It has 10 pillars, probably 20 feet apart from each other. going from side to side. It has like a football field and a pool, a fountain.
It looks like a presidential
palace
abode or something, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a large residence.
And it sits above, on top of the roof of a 33-story luxury apartment complex in India. Yikes. Oh my
That
gosh.
is so unusual.
Sitting atop a 33-story luxury apartment complex in Bengaluru, India, this mansion is over 40,000 square feet with 2 floors, only 2 floors, a helipad, lush gardens, an infinity swimming pool, and a 360-degree viewing deck. Well, no shit. Irfan Razak, the chairman of Prestige Estates Projects, which is part of a joint development agreement to construct the tower, previously said of the project it was a challenge to construct the mansion on a huge cantilever at that height, but we ensured we build it exactly the way it was conceived. Dun dun dun. I'm sure nothing hinky about how this person came into power. The house is estimated a value of 20 million US dollars. Another spectacular home by India's super rich is the Ambani family's Mumbai Tower Atelier. It cost an estimated $1 billion to build. 9 elevators, 50-seat cinema, and a full-service spa, as well as a 168-car garage and 3 helipads. Jesus Christ. Oh, gosh. Dystopian architecture.
It really is. I mean, it reminds me of like the Divergent movies.
Yeah, cyberpunk, Yeah, wow. Anyway, may never get to live there. Malia is known as the king of good times for his opulent lifestyle, according to Financial Times, but in March 2016, he fled India after defaulting on debts of more than $1 billion and faced fraud charges. He sought refuge in the UK. Why? I guess they don't have reciprocity, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what the status is there.
Wow. So India has made numerous attempts to extradite the billionaire who made his fortune in alcoholic beverages business under the popular Kingfisher brand. According to recent statistics, in India, the Kingfisher strong beer brand had a market share of 36% and has extended its presence to 69 countries, including Japan, Canada, New Zealand, and Norway. So he made it. He made his money in the alcohol industry, and has done pretty much everything else since then. So, but defaulting on $1 billion in debts, you know what you do, right? You go after all of his assets.
Well, this one's visible.
Yeah. At least you know where his assets are. Take his entire businesses, everything. Make it all, sell it to somebody else. I'm sure one of his friends will buy it, right? All right.
I mean, there's certainly plenty with billions, according to the article.
Oh, God. Just so... So the next article is over in the Continuity Report. Garfield's Odie only ever spoke 2 words, but they were the perfect choice. Odie the dog, which if you've never heard of Odie the dog, look up Garfield and Odie and Normal. Odie the dog and John. Odie the dog has only spoken once throughout Garfield's newspaper run, but the words chosen were actually a perfect choice. Odie has become known among Garfield fans as the perfect antithesis to Garfield. He's active, carefree, never talks, unlike the lasagna-loving cat. This has made him one of the best and funniest characters in Jim Davis's fan-favorite strip. Little do fans know, though, that Odie has actually spoken before, but only once. And it was when he was first introduced in 1978. So the article is over at screenrant.com by Angela Davis. And the deck statement says Odie has remained a silent character for a majority of his appearances in Garfield, but the one time that he broke his silence held what? Hold on. Held the perfect joke. All right. Sorry, I have it zoomed in for everybody to be able to see it, but
To keep us guessing as to what the end of the text statement is.
I'll tell you later. Odie's simplicity is what makes him funny, as shown through his only spoken line, "I'm hungry." All right. If you want to read more about this,
I didn't know that Odie ever spoke.
Let's see. Well, you're an AI from the future, so I don't suspect that you were around in 1978.
That is true. I've missed that through my time travels.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was part of your large language model, so that's okay. Now you know. Yeah, let me throw that into the chat. That's what I intended to do. But we'll get this one and done. And now let's just move on to the next, our last article for tonight's ohmTown Daily News Show. It's in the Technology Today channel. NASA's real-time reveal. See what Webb and Hubble are observing right now. NASA's Space Telescope Live provides an interactive way to explore the most accurate, up-to-date, publicly available information on current, past, and upcoming observations by NASA's telescopes.
NASA's unknown unit.
Wait, what?
I was trying to extrapolate as to what the end of the statement was.
Oh, yeah, because the little snippet gets truncated. So Space Telescope Science Institute put the article together. It's published at scitechdaily.com. And yeah, apparently you can do this. Identify, locate, and zoom into a map showing the latest target. Slew over the next target and back to the previous one. Monitor the schedule. Take a look at the science instruments. Check on the status of yesterday's observations. Dig into research proposal. Click through the entire catalog of past Hubble and Webb observations. That is, basically, Space Telescope Live provides an interactive way to explore the most accurate, up-to-date, publicly available information on current, past, and upcoming observations. You're not going to see the aliens because they always edit those out. So what are they looking at right now? At this minute, a shadowy pillar harboring nascent stars, a pair of colliding galaxies, the atmosphere of a distant planet, galactic light stretched and distorted on a 13 billion year journey across space. You can go to NASA's Space Telescope Live, a web application originally developed in 2016 to deliver real-time updates on Hubble targets, now affords easy access to up-to-date information on Hubble and Webb. Just wait until the moon train delivers the next moon telescope, and then we'll have to add that.
I know. I just hope their GPS is in order when they do that.
Oof. Too soon. Yeah. Apparently it's a thing. Trying to get to the moon is really tough because people are getting lost.
They go wee past it.
You know, I mean, spacecraft don't ask for directions. So details such as target name, coordinates, scheduled start time and end times, the research topic are pulled directly from the observation scheduling and proposal planning databases. Links within the tool direct users to the original search proposal or research proposal, which serves as a gateway to more technical information. Hey, you know what? This is carrying receipts and plopping down the information. You know what would be really beneficial here? An AI doing a whole lot of this with the same level of receipts. Come on, provide the information, provide the work cited, the references, the in-text citations. I want facts.
You know, they could only do that if they would think about this when they dump all this data in to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like they dump all the data in, they don't have any sites, and then people are like, well, there aren't any sites. Well, they don't know what they are.
Yeah, not anymore because it's been put in the food processor.
It's all like commingled and exactly.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is the food processor of society. All right. So go check this out. This is pretty awesome. NASA's real-time telescope. So it's NASA's Space Telescope Live. And you can get there by following the links that are here. Doink! Webtelescope.org. But if you follow the link through ohmTown over to the SciTech Daily article, you'll be able to read even more about it. Because I just barely touched this. They always go really deep into things, and this is pretty awesome. See, look, Snowpiercer. Oh no, that's, I think, the Webb.
That's Willy Wonka.
Yeah, but the sequel to the sequel of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is Moonpiercer. That's when Willy Wonka is contracted to build a train on the moon to deliver goods from one side to the other.
I see.
Okay, well, everybody get back into the party bus because we're going back downtown, baby. I'd refresh this, but I'm always, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to refresh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. That's okay. Everybody, we're gonna take a break for about 15 minutes or so. Maybe get ready by 8 o'clock and get this done. And we'll be on to the next show. What are we gonna do next? Do you remember?
We have Reality Hacker next.
Hey, that sounds like fun. You know, right after that, it's gonna be Wanted, and that's all about gadgets and gear. And then right after that is going to be our inaugural episode of Warcrafters, which is really about RTS, first-person shooters, games in general. But for the most part, we try and focus on first-person shooters. But that's it. We're going to see you in a little bit. Yeah, probably see you at 8 o'clock. Okay, cheers. I'm Mayor Watt. That's ohmTown.com. I'm going to stop saying that. But I am going to say I'm Mayor Watt, and up there is the Sentient AI's visualizer. You want to say bye?
Good night for now, ohmTown citizens. We will see you shortly for Reality Hacker and Wanted and Warcrafters.
That's right. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us. Download the podcast from Apple and leave a 5-star review. Go over to YouTube and follow us there. Be sure to like the videos. That actually helps out the channel quite a bit. We're setting up Odyssey too. Yeah, we're going to be posting over there. And we are here on twitch.tv/ohmTown. Be sure to follow us there as well. Thank you very much. See you in a little bit.